Hello there, everybody. This is Aaron St. Dennis, the FF Mad Scientist, and welcome back to the Mad Science Lab podcast. Today we are continuing on with the My Tiers series, and joining me for a little redraft running back action is Tim Riley. Tim, glad to have you. How's it going?
Going good, Aaron. I appreciate you having me on, man. Always a pleasure coming over.
Want to take a second, tell everyone where they can find you?
Yeah, of course. You can find me over at my podcast, Fantasy Frontline, at Frontline_FF on Twitter. Writing articles right now for Dynasty Football Factory. So I have a series coming out, Dynasty Football for Beginners. We're going over trading. That's part 2 of my series that's coming out here very soon. And then, of course, with Aaron over at the FF League Winners, writing articles over there. So give me a follow on Twitter at FF_Reese to see all my stuff.
Sounds good. I went a little lower with the camera today. When you spend $70 on an SFB shirt, you got to show it off. It got here today. I am in Canada, so it's not like, what is it for you guys? $20, $25?
Yeah, it's $25.
Yeah, so it's $25 for me, but you got to convert that to Canadian, which makes it more like $40. Then it's another $25 for shipping. Cost me $70 for this bad boy.
Woo.
And
yeah,
then
I would only get one. I would only get one if it cost me.
My kid loved it. He picked my division. I let him pick it. He picked the shirt. The SFB Avi makers, they made an avatar for me. It's freaking sweet. Then I got switched to a new division.
Nice.
Yep. So all that for nothing. But all right. Well, let's get right into it here then. The first redraft running back is Cam Akers.
Okay. So Cam Akers I currently have as my RB21. We're going to go ahead and slot him in. Let me see.
Elite, great, good, average, below average, bad. You can say
I would say he's below average.
Below average?
Not an ideal running back, but I think he'll be a solid RB2 for you. And I think he'll have certain games where he'll produce.
Saquon Barkley. Where do you got
Saquon is currently my RB2 for running back for redraft. So he's going in the elite tier.
All right. Fair enough. I definitely like him myself. The next one, Brian Robinson.
I'm going to go into bad, actually. I have his counterpart ranked above him and Antonio Gibson. Gibson is my RB28 right now. So that puts Brian Robinson in the bad.
I have hit Gibson higher as well, but this went by DLF ADP, and Gibson was not high enough to make the cut. So that tells you where the value is there. Brian Robinson was high enough to be top 30, and Gibson is not. So target Gibson. Nick Chubb.
We just talked about this in the studio in the back before this went live. So I've got Nick Chubb as my RB10 and just missing out on the great category, so we're going to put him in good.
I don't disagree. I think he would be great if he caught more passes, but for now he's good.
I think there was some time where Kareem Hunt missed some time last year, and we were kind of hoping and expecting to see Nick Chubb participate more in the passing game, and we just didn't see it. And so I think the Browns are going to be passing a lot more this year. So if he doesn't improve in the passing game, he's staying in the good. And I don't anticipate him to improve in the passing game.
James Conner.
I like James Conner higher than consensus right now.
Me too.
But he's going in the average.
Yeah, he's boring, but he's another one where he's coming in much lower than I have him ranked. So I have quite a few shares of him, like not in Dynasty, but in redraft. I know he's old, but he is going to be a boring running back too.
My thing is he hasn't produced less than 12 points per game in like any year he's been the starter.
Yeah.
So
and he's going in like the 9th round.
But he's probably getting hurt at some point this year. He's going to miss 3 games. He always does.
At that ADP, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
So, Dalvin Cook.
He's going in the average category as well. He looked like he lost some burst last year, and it looks like he's kind of out of the room in Minnesota. He could be going to Miami.
Denver apparently today.
I plan on Javonte coming back this year, so he could split carries over there. He's not going to be a great fantasy asset for you this year.
If the rumors are true, though, and Denver's in, it should tell you about what they think about Javonte's recovery. I don't think he's going to be ready, which is why Samaje Perine has made this list. But next up is A.J. Dillon.
A.J. Dillon is not in my top 30. He's going into the bad. We expected him to steal some carries from Aaron Jones last year and really take a part of that workload, and we just didn't see it happen. I don't see that changing this year. I think Jordan Love's really going to rely on Aaron Jones, and I'm just not seeing the production there for A.J. Dillon.
I have no shares of him. His ADP is always too high. It's amazing what one quad video can do to his ADP.
The quads are nice, though.
Next is a guy I'm higher on, J.K. Dobbins.
I like J.K. a lot, but I'll put him in the good category.
I think that's where I have him. He's kind of like Chubb. It's interesting you put him next to Chubb. He's a great rusher, but the pass catching upside's not really there.
I had J.K. Dobbins right neck and neck with James Conner in my rankings right here, but I'm making on-the-spot changes. I just love J.K. Dobbins in that offense. What Todd Monken's going to bring a little change in diversity to the offensive scheme, and I like him a lot. I think he's going to have a very good year this year.
Next up, we have Austin Eckler.
He's going into the great category.
Great.
I expect a step back this year after Joe Lombardi leaves, and I think we're just going to see more emphasis on the passing game and less dump-offs. He's still going to be greatly involved in that offense, but I just think that the receiving profile that we saw last year isn't going to be quite there.
People are low on him because of his age and the 1-year contract. I got him early. I think it was yesterday or today in a redraft best ball league with a bunch of industry people. I got him as RB9. Don't know.
I like that. I like that a lot. Eckler is currently my RB6. I think he's going to be great. I just don't think the ceiling is going to be quite like it was.
Travis Etienne.
Etienne is my RB13. He's going to go into the good category. I do my rankings not solely, but a big factor in them is probability to finish as an RB1. And I think Tank Bigsby is really going to be a thorn in the side of ETN owners. ETN's going to be very good this year.
I agree.
I just think he has less of a chance to finish as an RB1 than some of these other guys on this list.
I agree very much. Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs. He is going into the great category.
Ooh, that's spicy. Do tell.
I love Jahmyr Gibbs this year. This receiving profile is going to be amazing. David Montgomery's there, but I'm really not concerned. Gibbs is only going to need to see 125 carries, and the rest is going to be PPR, pure upside. As long as he gets the ball in open space and is able to make moves, he's going to be electric. And I think
kind of like an Alvin Kamara stat line. I don't mean I know everyone compares him, despite the fact that Kamara's like 15 pounds heavier. I just mean a medium level rushing workload and top 5 in targets. That's the Kamara. That's how Kamara was a top 5 running back.
Yeah, that's exactly how I see him. I think he could see 100+ targets this year, and along with Amon-Ra, and that offense is going to be way better than it was last year. I just like him.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think he's almost a lock to finish top 12.
I think he's going to come out of the gate hot with Jameson Williams out. He might be a target monster, averaging 6 or 8 a game for the first 6 games there.
And you can get him in the 5th round of best ball draft.
Yeah. Breece Hall.
I love Brees Hall. I just don't love him this year.
Nope.
Brees Hall is
Injury.
currently my RB. Oh man, where did he go? I'm gonna put him into the good category. It's gonna take him a while to come back from it, and he's just. I think he'll turn it on towards the end of the year. I hope, but I'm just not that hopeful this year.
Najee Harris.
Najee also going, and where do I have him? RB12. Yeah, Najee's going good. I think he's going to get back to his efficiency, or not back to his efficiency, to his volume that he saw his rookie season, and I think he will be a little bit more efficient with Kenny Pickett having another year of experience and not seeing so many stack boxes.
King Henry.
RB5. He is going great.
All right, can't argue that.
I mean, I don't
injury risk, but
yeah, I mean, there's just no reason to move him down. He's been an outlier for like the last 2 or 3 years, and he just keeps performing. And I'll doubt it when I see him start to decline.
You can tell I've been doing a lot of Dynasty startups lately. It's Dynasty startup season, so you can really tell the people are in full-blown rookie fever and just going crazy for Dynasty, like the young players.
Mm-hmm.
It is really easy to build a win now team. Like I've got a team where I was super flex. I started with Burrow and Tua as my quarterbacks. Then I added Travis Kelce in the third. So I punted running back and wide receiver. Ended up still with, I got Eckler, Henry, Cook, and then wide receivers were no young guys, but that's what I mean. It's all guys where, sure, they probably have 1 or 2 years left, but I mean, I ended up with a stacked top 6 considering I completely punted it and went quarterback. So people, you can build a win now team really easily right now in Dynasty.
Absolutely. Like if you want to win this year, now is the time to do your drafts.
Josh Jacobs, that was the other running back I ended up with. But, this is Khalil Herbert. Yes, Khalil Herbert.
I don't think Khalil Herbert quite has a hold on the job like people think he does. He's going bad.
Oh, you don't have to tell me. You're talking to the chairman of the Roshan Johnson fan club.
Yeah, I like Roshan a lot to take it over. We're going Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs is actually my RB4 this year. So I don't know if that's quite enough for elite. I really have a top 3 elite. Yeah, let's put him in great.
Fair enough.
He can catch passes. He can run the ball. It's going to be interesting to see how that offense changes with Jimmy G. But I still expect him to be top 8.
The other day, I had Garrett Price on from Dynasty Nerds, and we were discussing him. I believe it was Garrett, how he was RB3 last year, but his ADP hasn't adjusted because everyone's, it was only because he was on the last year of his deal and was playing for a contract, so they wrote him into the ground. He's on the franchise tag. They're going to do the same thing this year. They're going to ride him into the ground like they used to do with vintage Derrick Henry. There's no reason why, he was RB3 and he's going as RB12. It's ridiculous.
And I just don't understand it. Do we have that much more faith in Jimmy G that they're going to throw the ball?
No,
especially with this foot.
His ADP, he should go up in ADP with Jimmy G as the quarterback. It's not like he caught enough passes, but I mean, Jimmy G is going to hand the ball off more. He's a game manager, so I don't understand. I'm never the Josh Jacobs guy, but this year I'm the Josh Jacobs guy. I don't get how he's going so low.
Yeah, it's a steal. It's one of the few steals at running back for me. Actually, I think most of the running backs are steals, but
Jamal Williams.
Jamal Williams. Oh man, Jamal Williams has a huge asterisk. All these Saints running backs do, but I'll put him below average.
Right.
I think
touchdown regression much.
Yeah, that's the only path to relevance is touchdowns, and
he's not going to score 17 in New Orleans.
Yeah,
it's not happening.
They got Kendre and Alvin Kamara, and I think either one of those two, if Kamara gets suspended, it's going to be Kendre as the lead back. If he doesn't, it's going to be Kamara as the lead back. And I just don't see the path there for.
And you're forgetting the vulture. You're forgetting the vulture.
Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill, vulture in those goal line touchdowns. You know he's going to take at least 3 or 4.
Actually, let's move Jamal Williams to bad.
Yes, I agree.
You talked me into it.
I love Jamal Williams. He's a great, he looks like he's a legit great guy. He's hilarious with his Pokemon crap, but I'm out. He's going close to Jacobs in ADP.
If Jamal Williams or if Alvin Kamara does get suspended for a lengthy period of time, then I will move Jamal Williams to the below average category because I do think he will get touchdowns, but
I'd still rather have Kendre Miller.
Smart. I would too.
James Cook.
Where we got? James Cook is. Oof! I got James Cook in below average.
Can't argue that. I'm never a big fan of the Bills' backfield. Josh Allen seems to be their best rusher. I'm fine with that.
I like James Cook. But the Bills just don't do a whole lot of dump offs, and that's kind of his game. So he's going to need a lot more volume as a rusher.
Aaron Jones.
I've got Aaron Jones as my RB15. He's been an RB1 for the last 2 years, I believe. He's going into the average category. Yeah. Actually, we'll go average.
Yeah, he's probably a low-end RB1, high-end RB2. He's probably pretty safe. I mean, he's older and injured, but redraft league, he's probably solid, and he's probably a decent value because he falls. Alvin Kamara, as if anybody knows what to make out of this.
If he gets suspended, he's going to be below average. If he doesn't get suspended, he's going to be average because they are going to give Kendre Miller the ball. So let's put him in average. Let's assume things are how they are. And if he gets suspended, we'll revisit.
Alex Madison. Yeah.
Where do we go?
Assuming Cook is gone. Just assume Cook's gone.
Assuming Cook's gone, average.
Yeah.
He's been pretty decent in fill-in roles, but the toll of a 17-game season is a lot.
I think even if Cook is traded or cut, they're not just going to give him all the touches. I think you're going to see Chandler and McBride factor in. So I'm not nearly as high on him. Any shares I did have, I sold off on a high. I'm out. Mm-hmm. Let's just move this up here. I assume that's where you'll be putting McCaffrey. No argument.
CMC is my RB1 this year, and
Yeah, nothing to say there. Joe Mixon.
I've got Joe Mixon in my RB16. I'm going to move him to good because I think he'll see a lot of volume. I'm going to move him above Aaron Jones right now. I do think he'll see the volume if he doesn't get cut, and he'll be a mid RB2.
I don't think he's getting cut. I think it's pretty clear he's staying. So
yeah.
I don't think he gets a suspension. And when I had Drew Davenport on the podcast, he doesn't seem to think Kamara gets suspended this year. He thinks it goes on next year.
That's amazing. Kamara's got some great lawyers.
Yeah, they just keep dragging it out. David Montgomery.
Bad. He's not in my top 30.
Wow, that explains why you're so high on Gibbs.
I do love me some Gibbs, man.
Pacheco.
Isaiah Pacheco, he's going to go bad.
He is.
I just don't what are we doing in Kansas City? I mean, nobody knows what's going on with that backfield. Pacheco saw a lot of the carries in the playoffs, but
when Clyde was out.
Yeah. Who knows what they're going to do. Yeah. I don't trust any of them.
I don't like any of them. Here's a guy I was buying early in the offseason because I don't think Javonte is going to be ready. But he's getting to the point where people are acting like he's going to be the starting running back all year, and his ADP is caught up, and now I'm cooling on him. What are your thoughts on Samaje Perine?
I don't think he's good.
No. I never said he was good.
I don't think he's a good running back. He's going to see some volume, but realistically I like average at best. So we'll go below average, I suppose. But even when Javonte, like when Javonte becomes healthy, he's just gonna overshadow P Ryan so much.
Where do you want him? Average or below average?
Below average. Let's go Pat. He's not good.
Fair enough.
Let's stick to the guns.
Dameon Pierce.
Dameon Pierce. I've got him just above Damian or Cam Akers, so we're gonna go below average.
Alrighty.
I don't think that's a good offense, and we should not be buying into it too much.
No, I would agree. Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard is my RB11. We're going to put him good.
Running back Jesus.
Running back Jesus.
Bijan.
Bijan. Yes. Bijan is going to go great. He's a great option. I don't think he'll be an RB, like a top 5 guy this year, top 6 guy, but
he's being drafted like it.
I know. I think he's gonna perform below his ADP.
Yeah, well, it's tough to perform over his ADP. He's going as like RB2 or 3 in redraft. I get RB1 in Dynasty, but RB1, 2, or 3 in redraft is batshit crazy. I'm taking CMC, Barkley, Eckler, and Henry all above him. Probably Jacobs and Taylor. I think he's my RB 6 or 7 in redraft. I love him. I don't know. He's still a rookie. And then
would you rather have Bijan or Ramondre?
Bijan. I'm not a Ramondre guy or a Pollard guy.
Ooh, okay.
Bijan.
Right.
Okay, Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders. He's my RB14. He's going to be good.
Good. I would assume you'd take Ramondre over Bijan?
No, they're just right next to each other. I've got Bijan at 7 and Ramondre at 8.
Okay.
And then Gibbs at 9.
He's up next anyways, Ramondre.
Yeah, Ramondre, he's going to be good.
Good. All righty. DeAndre Swift.
Swift is going to be below average.
Yeah, he's too soft.
I've got him as RB24.
He'll be out within a couple of weeks. JT, Jonathan Taylor.
Elite. He's my RB3. I don't think he'll quite be as great as people are expecting with Anthony Richardson, but I think he'll still be top 12 guy.
Ken Walker.
I don't know how you're gonna feel. He's my RB22. I've got him as average.
He's like my RB12. I'm higher. Yeah. I don't think Charbonnet is very good, but I'm just not a Charbonnet fan.
I like Charbonnet a lot, so
I don't. He was my fade in the rookie class. So, Rachaad White,
below average.
And to wrap it up, Javonte Williams.
Javonte is also going to be below average because he's just the injury. All right, if it wasn't for the injury, he would be great, but.
All right. I'm going to recap these tiers and see how many of these headshots I can remember. Tim's elite tier consists of Barkley, CMC, and Jonathan Taylor. Great tier is Eckler, Gibbs, Henry, Jacobs, and Bijan. In the good, we have Chubb, Dobbins, ETN, Breece Hall, Najee Harris, Mixon, Pollard, Ramondre, and Miles Sanders. Average, we have Connor, Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones, Alvin Kamara, Alexander Madison, and Ken Walker. Below average, we have Akers, James Cook, Pierce, Swift, Rachaad White, and Javonte. The bad tier, we have Brian Robinson, A.J. Dillon, Khalil Herbert, Jamal Williams, David Montgomery, Pacheco, and Samaje Perine. Anything you noticed there that really stood out to you?
Probably that I've got Breece Hall in the good, and I've got Javonte in below average. Really, I think I might have to move Breece Hall to average, but it just remains to be seen.
It's a redraft, and it's a reflection of what you think of their injury. I agree. I think they should – if they're healthy, they're both probably 1 or 2 tiers higher. But I expect Hall to miss up to a month. I think Javonte could miss 8 weeks. Like he could be like Dobbins last year, where he misses 3 or 4 games, comes back for a few, and then misses another 8 games, and then looks okay at the end of the season. So I can't argue either of them.
I mean, we talked about earlier Antonio Gibson and Brian Robinson. That's, one of the great values at running back right now. Miles Sanders was a little bit of a surprise even for myself, just how I generally feel ranked up against the rest of these running backs. I like him a lot. I think they're going to rely heavily on this run game. A lot of people think Miles Sanders can't catch, but realistically, he was very good at catching his rookie season. And I think the offensive scheme just kind of gradually went away from that as time went on in Philly. And I think they'll get back to that in Carolina.
Yeah, I like him. I like him quite a bit this year. I'm higher than most. You want to take a second here? Tell everyone where they can find you again?
Yes, you can find me over at Twitter at @FF_Rees. You can find a few articles I'm dropping later this month at DFF Dynasty Football Factory and the FF League Winners. And of course my podcast at Frontline_FF. A bunch of great guests coming through, and I'm excited to just share a diversity of different stances about dynasty football and fantasy football in general, and just to see different walks of life. So make sure to check that out.
Looking forward to it. Well, this has been My Tiers. We had Tim Riley checking out the redraft running backs. Once again, I'm Aaron St. Dennis, the FF Mad Scientist. This has been the Mad Science Lab podcast, and thank you for watching. Thanks again to Tim for joining me, and have a good night. Take care.